Until there is no first class, second class citizens in any nation. And until the color of the man's skin is of no more significance than the color of his eyes. Say on. Good morning, everybody. How y'all enjoying the war? Until basic human rights for equality I forgot the word. Something about equal regards to bears. It's gonna be whoa. I forgot the words. Bob Marley War. We don't need no more trouble. Did y'all watch that James Corbett World War III? Hang on, stop, Bob. Shut up. Love you, Bob. Shut up. I love you. Miss a war, and until people figure out the invisible enemy declared war a long time ago. Good morning, everybody. Oh, James Corbett was off the hook. Did y'all see that? I posted it. Hopefully you saw it. Understand, if you're waiting on World War III, you're going to be waiting a long time. You're going to be waiting a long time. World War III began a long time ago. Long time ago. And not only that, his analysis was amazing. Did you watch it? I hope that you watched it. He just broke it down. You know, war changes from war to war. There's no wars like the last war. Technology change, strategy change, the strategists check what's happening and what's going on. They always increase in scale. But what's World War III right happening right now? We fighting with China in the trade war. That is not the war. If you don't know who the enemy is, in big trouble. Good morning. Oh, James Corbett was awesome. Let me bring YouTube over here. Looks like we got everything working again this morning. Hope everybody's having a good morning. Enjoying the war, quiet weapons for silent wars. But we've been told this in many, many different ways, many, many different times by many, many different people. James Corbett is just the last one explaining to us that we are at war. And unfortunately, some of us think that we're at war with the popo. You're not at war with the police. I know they might be killing you. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a difference between being at war with something and something killing you. There's a difference. And besides the fact, I think we done went through this long enough. You should now know if you're following somebody, you need to make sure that they believe the things that you believe. And we finally now have enough people questioning the narrative. How come black lives only matter when it's white cops killing black lives? When it's black cops killing black lives, we don't seem to care. When it's black lives killing black lives, we don't seem to care. And you come up with this whole defund the police thing. And I was thinking about this I don't know where these thoughts come from. It's crazy. We live in a creepy time. I was out in the garden and I was thinking, I was out there gardening, being stupid, eating all my broccoli flowers because a whole bunch of them bolting them because I planted them too late. Or it's too warm. Climate's changing. Crazy stuff's happening. Climate's always changing. Don't worry about that. No, I mean, worry about that. Food scarcity was a lot of other things going on. I had a thought in my mind. Y'all want to defund the police? What if you just defunded the war on drugs? What would happen if you defunded the war? See, the thing is, if they can convince you that they're at war with the police because the people in charge of your groups want to actually run the plantation and hold the whips and they want to be the ones whipping you, then they can get you to go after the police. If you go after the war on drugs, that's going to stop all black on black crimes. It's going to stop most white on white crimes. It's going to stop most Hispanic on Hispanic crime. It's going to stop most crime with police on the people. It's going to stop most crime with FBI on the people. It's going to stop most crime with DA on the people. And what are the other acronym agencies? All you got to do is defund the war on drugs. And that's easy to do. And the funny thing is you got support to do that. So then that all heavy 300-pound gorilla and elephant in the room. Why aren't they saying this? War. We're always at war, people. We're always at war. You don't know who it's against. The only way to fight an invisible enemy. Hang on, let me do this real quick. We're already into the discussion. I haven't even put on discussion music yet. If the only way to fight an invisible enemy is one, you got to be wise enough. And yes, I said that in incorrect King's English. You got to be, you got to be wise enough to know your enemy is invisible. That's the one thing that you need to know. It's important that you know this. And two, you gotta know what they want. Got to know what they want. You don't have to see the ghost. You don't have to see it. You don't have to. They can have invisible cloaks and uniforms and tanks and ships and what's that, Philadelphia experiment? They can have all of that. They can have death energy weapons from space. They can have GMOs and bioweapons. They can have all that stuff. And none of it matter if you know what they want. That's all you got to know, and you will win. All you got to know is, one, you have an invisible enemy. Two, the leaders of all your movements are criminals. You're the criminals that are ignorant on all sides, all sides, all sides. They just want to run the plantation, and because they're not actually going after what's taking most lives. And then you just walk away from it. Whatever they want, you deny them. Whatever they want. But James Corbett was amazing. I loved his analysis, which is why I'm here at World War I. Let me change the background music and get to it. Not sure how much time I got today. We will have a bit of a discussion, if you may. He broke it down. He broke it down. So did y'all watch it? I guess I'm supposed to say good morning first. I should say good morning first. I've been ignoring y'all. Have I been derelict in my duties? All right. World War I, World War II, and World War III are all fought very differently, along with all the wars before that. The technology was different. The strategy was different. The groups that fought were different. Let's just leave it there. Good morning, Rebecca. How you doing, Belinda and Hillary? Rachel is in the house, and Riley. Climate change is man-made. It's getting cooler. Riley, and number one, Riley J. I'm not sure if I should listen to you, Riley J, because you in Facebook jail. You obviously must have been saying something that was hurting people's feelings. No, I'm sorry. What you in jail for? What happened? What happened? What happened? Why did Facebook spank you? I'm curious. Christine said defund the government. Well, I know what they want. I know how to defund them. And it's not always finances. Sometimes it's a consent thing. Tony Smith is in the house. Good morning. Miss Tree down by the tree. Defunding the war on drugs would defund the police. See, this is why Miss Tree needs to be in Facebook jail with Riley. Because they say things that make too much damn sense. Like, yeah, that's just common sense. If you just defund the war on drugs, they don't have the police. They don't have the money for it. They don't have the reason to come in your neighborhoods with guns. And then defund hip hop. Ooh, can you say that? Defund gangster rap. You can do that part. All them records. Anybody got records at home? Damn it, I'm always so young at 29. I keep saying records. I meant MP3s. Did I say MP3? That's what is it? Damn it, is that? No, I messed up again. I don't even know what y'all listen to. What do y'all listen to now? Is it satellite radio? What y'all listen to? I stopped listening to hip hop a long time ago. I understood I need to defund gangster rap, and gangster rap was on the same album with Tony Braxton and Anita Baker and all the other all the other ones I enjoyed, and I realized as long as I'm buying them records, I'm fueling gangster rap. As long as I'm fueling gangster rap, I'm fueling the number 2 reason why black lives do not matter, and the white lives that come along with the black lives because they enjoy hanging out with us, and then we all get in trouble. I realized what I was doing to the kids by that I didn't say 8-track, by the CDs that I had in my house, and I stopped buying them. I had kids. I was growing up. I was like, you know what? Yeah, we're not gonna do this. And I was privileged. And this is what I mean. Like, not a lot of people can just say, you know what? We not gonna live in the ghetto. Not a lot of people can say we not gonna live in the trailer park. A lot of people can't say that. I can say that. I had some boys said, oh hell no. I looked around at America. And I took a look and said, yeah, they got that systemic thing going on. That systemic povertyism. If you ain't got no money, they send the police to shoot you cold dead, even if you're trying to survive, and grow some cannabis and help neighbors out with the glaucoma, whatever it is. I said, yeah, I'm not going to be raising no boys around here. This is not going to happen. Did I tell you all the time I almost bought a house in the hood? I lived in the hood for a minute, then I almost bought a house in the hood. But I thought you said you was privileged. I was privileged, but once again, I denounced my privilege. This is a life pattern for me. I've been denouncing privilege every time. Hi, it's privilege. Like, listen, I don't want you no more. I think that you were bad. You causing problems. We in the middle of World War III, and my taking you is why we are here. And I ran from the privilege. But if all you got to do is defund the war on drugs. Defund, you could defund the government. You could start defunding the government. I bet you things will change overnight. I bet you that change overnight. But that's me. You could defund this idea. This is a good idea to keep clapping for people who voted for the crime bill because now they're taking a knee. Did y'all see that picture? I think it's on my timeline. Did y'all see that picture? I got such a giggle out of this. Oh goodness, yeah, it's my cover. Who did this? I think this was Susan. Susan did this. She's naughty as hell. You need to be in Facebook jail, woman. Look at this right here. Like, they just in solidarity. They solid. Look at them. Look at them. They so solid. Look at them. Oh my goodness. Oh, we with you people. We are in the struggle together. We with you. We in the struggle. These are the people who signed the 1994 crime bill. The whole reason why the people that been kneeling for their lives, none of their lives, millions of them. None of their lives now. None of them. None of them mattered. But they taking a knee. It's okay. It's okay. They got the gesture. That's not going to be a popular message. I'm not going to piss y'all off. That's okay. I don't need no hearts today. I'm going to take a knee in solidarity with your criminal slavers too. All right, it's not funny. It is funny and it's not funny, both at the same time. It is, but you know what? It's funny to me because it's obvious now. It's obvious now. These people lying to you. It's obvious that they don't give two damns about you. It's obvious that they're using all the bodies that are piling them up, Hispanic, white, black, all the colors and the nations, the resources and the land, they're piling them all up because don't nobody's life matter when it's World War III. It is World War III. It is absolutely World War III. The problem is most people have no idea who the enemy is. And this is why it was a deep James Corbett. Somebody done post a link, I will post it. Anyway, good morning everybody. Great speech by Haile Selassie. Oh, Ashley. Ooh, go on. See, now you can get people in trouble. You start talking about that Bob Marley, Haile Selassie, the beginnings of Rastafari. That's how you know people do a little homework, do a little study. It's all about sovereignty. So that's what they want. They just want to control you. That's what they want. They want the same thing these people want. This is why these people taking a knee. Oh, I got jokes to make. I'm not going to make them because they're a little too close to home. But I get giggles and tickles when I turn on the news and I see people who I know are part of the problem taking the knee. They just, oh, it's solid. You know what is funny is looking at this picture right here. It's funny, look at these privileged neighborhoods around here taking a knee. It's funny. And they're multiracial. It's not, I know I'm not a white privileged dude. I don't know nothing about no white privilege. I am not white. All I know is I got some things that they got and I probably shouldn't have got them, but I was born in this family. So what I'm gonna do with it? Mostly I walk with it. It's like hip hop and gangster rap. Did they taking a knee too? They already took their knee and then they went back to watch NFL. That's what happened. All you got to do is look out for the sellout. That's all you got to do. Everywhere. Everywhere. Let me put this picture up. So what James Corbett was talking about was that every war looks different, right? The technology changes. You look at World War I, World War II, Vietnam War, the battlegrounds change, the groups that were warring change, and it tends to escalate. The groups get larger and larger. Well, what happens when you don't have anything perceived larger than a nation in the public domain? Well, the war becomes larger groups. But you always have to keep the fog of war, right? You always have to keep people who would expect World War III to be between America and China and some trading blocks or something to be that. And his point was, no, war, this current war, and I mostly agree with him, it's mostly about authoritarians and the ignorant public. Right? Authoritarians, the people who claim they have authority over you and in every damn country. They're in Ireland, they're in Mogadishu, they're in the Republic of Congo, they're all over this Latin America, they're in America, and they're in China too. And they all agree with the main point that you are the enemy. Your rights are the enemy. Let's say it that way. Your sovereignty is the enemy. They want to own you, control you, and keep you enslaved into all the various isms, slavery systems that they have, including capitalism, communism, and socialism. I don't think that y'all understood me, church. Did you hear me? I posted that yesterday and people started going, no, it's not. Capitalism and socialism and communism. Yes, I get to be free in any of those isms. Can I go get some land, just grow some food and not participate in the slavery system and the economics of that? Whatever somebody tell me to labor, forced labor. If I can't do that, that's called forced labor. If that's called forced labor, that's called slavery. All right, they're all just modern slavery of the day. So every time I see these posts now about capitalism, socialism, and communism, I'm just like, no, how about we just end slavery? Like, why do we have to keep doing this? Like, you know, that argument is as bad as the whole Black Lives Matter argument, which we need to completely run from. Run. They are literally giving you a false flag in your hand and giving you an artificial enemy that is not at war with you to take all of your rights and put you all deep beneath a prison, if not in the grave. Do not play with these people above you know what they're doing. They've been doing it a long time. But it's a fake argument. You either believe in the principle of slavery or you don't. You either believe in the principle of abusing other people or you don't. You either believe in the principle of black men dying is a bad idea or you don't. It can't be good when black men kill black men. And if you don't want to talk about that, then obviously you're not in it for black men. You're in it for you. Or I say it the other way. Same thing with white lives matter. If white lives only matter when cops are shooting them, and it doesn't matter when they're getting in brawls over beer at the trailer park, tractor pull, whatever it is with some mullets. And that's like a small percentage of the white folks in the but that's like the narrative. That is the popular narrative. If that's what's happening, and the other popular narrative on the other side, then guess what? You're not in it for white men. You're not in it for men. You're in it for you. You've got some disaster capital you need to make off of this. So that's one thing. And that reminded me of something else. What was I listening to? Look at that face. Wasn't that ugly? We're both on it. Meme on that. I'm not going to make it again, but he can rewind it, hit pause. And I'm not going to make it easy for him. I'm not going to make a face again. I was listening to White Mike. I remember we're not doing WHITE. We're doing WHOT and BLEK. We're not using the names given to people, the labels given to groups of people that are all gods, treated like they're named like they're pigs or something. White Mike, did y'all watch him on TED Talk? I don't know why I was thinking about him this morning. I remember somebody gave a good talk a long time ago on that channel I hate, which is TED Talk. I can't stand them. I'm sorry, I hate them. I don't like copyrights. I think that's going the wrong way. Anyway, he explained it to you. He got into the depths of the economics, why we're in the place that we're in. Oh, it was deep. But, you know, outside of the fact that he nailed on the whole Pepsi Cola sign. Did y'all see the Pepsi Cola sign on the bus that Martin Luther King and the bus? If you didn't watch it, you should watch it. If not, I'll post a link. Somebody else will post it for you. You got to do your homework. At the end of White Mike, and he explained, because you hear the name White Mike, and I love the fact that he called the title, what was it? Black Murder is Normal. Like, oh, is it, man? And it's a white dude gonna tell you that black murder is normal. Hold on, slow down. This man that grew up in places you probably didn't. Okay? If you had a mommy and a daddy, you grew up in suburban America. White Mike grew up in a black area. And this is a story that I've tried to tell many times because I grew up with a lot of these brothers. And he just told the story like he went to church with us, and ate with us, got down dirty with us, fished with us, farmed with us, and he told the story. And I think it was a beautiful story. I don't think he picked a side at all. I think he told you exactly how he sees it and exactly what the problems are. And at the end, he posed an interesting question. And this is a spoiler alert. I'm sorry. I'm not going to play it because we ain't got that kind of time. And that's definitely a copyright strike. Because that's a criminal organization called TEDx that's got great speakers and great information, but they don't want the information to be free. Everything is free. Should be. At the end, he was talking, who was the rapper? Because I stopped following gangster rap. When rap stopped being about having fun and tennis shoes and dancing and singing and making jokes, I stopped following it. I couldn't do gangster rap. I saw it coming. I jumped into it for a minute. I was in college. But then what happened? We actually had a riot. We actually had a mass conflict at a school. I'm at the University of Maryland, Eastern Shore. And I remember during homecoming, or right before homecoming, one of the sisters there got pregnant, and her boyfriend thought it was a better idea that he shoot her with a shotgun and take out her and the baby, as opposed to just being a man and helping to raise the baby. And then homecoming came. If my brothers around here went to college with me, they'll tell you about it. They remember this. And it was, I forgot who came down to homecoming. You get all these hip hop rappers come down. And it wasn't even like it was a crazy gangster NWA, blah, 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 blah. Which is funny. Because some of them died and some of them went on to become TV stars, Hollywood, and record executives from those days. Got a lot of people killed, made a whole lot of money, and now they're on sitcoms, but we won't go through that. Everybody's born in some shoes and you do what you do. But there was a big fight there, big riot after that. And that's when I stopped and I thought, I was like, man, what the hell is happening to people? Like, you know, why, how do you go from we're trying to uplift the people and help each other, blah, 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 to now it's time to kill each other? It's the music. And this is what White Mike talked about. He said killing black bodies is normal. It's normalized. We're okay with it. We collectively are okay with it. It's not just police. It's we collectively are okay with it. His example was, who was the rapper? Did somebody list his name? Big Babaloo, something, something, Shotty. Well, they got crazy names. And he would go through his rapping thing and, oh, shoot this, kill that, steal this, catch you slipping, blah, 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 AK-47, whatever. And at one point in time in his rap, he stopped and mentioned date rape and then kept going. And the crowd was upset. The people were upset. The record label, everybody was upset because throughout this album, he talked about murdering people. He mentioned date rape. And they was upset about the date rape part. Not that date rape is good, and not that you should not give it attention, but how the hell are you okay with them murdering all these black people? Black men murdering black people all throughout the whole damn album. But your only issue is the date rape part. It's because you have a slave mind, like I do, like everybody does. The problem is the system, it's not just the police, right? You see what I'm saying? We got a major issue here. We got a major issue. White Mike was right. White Mike. He was completely right. And until we deal with things at the principal level, we're in trouble because we are at war. This is World War III, and we seem to have no damn clue who the enemy is. The enemy will not come as a nation. Those days are gone. The enemy is not going to be global alliances. Those days are gone. The enemy is between your ears. It's that jelly between your ears. That's what it is. It's your consent. You consent to being ruled. You consent to being controlled. You consent to not having sovereignty. But it was a great talk. James Corbett. Hopefully y'all watch it. The wars are never fought on the same technology, the same strategy, nor the same people. They always shift. And now this war is all about keeping the authoritarians in power everywhere and increasing their power ignorantly beyond all means and keeping the people fighting amongst themselves in all nations. All nations. Bad team promoted the bad players. Yeah, well, Jack, bad became good sometime in the recent past. Good became evil, evil became good. Sustainable became unsustainable, unsustainable became good. Fighting racism with racism kind of makes sense to most people now, and this is crazy. It's crazy. You can't see the enemy. You can't see the enemy. If you could see them, they're not the enemy. The enemy is invisible. These are quiet weapons for silent wars, and they're being waged in pesticide companies and farms and the products you put on your skin and the juice and what's that called? What's that juice y'all put in your hair? What's that called? Shampoo? You put that, then it ain't juice. It's not juice. I made a mistake. That's fake news. It's not juice. It's chemicals and things that just seep into your brain and make it stupid. And they do it on purpose. They all do it on purpose because we want them to. We want a whole lot of it. Is that Ty? Ty's the one talking. We want it. We want more. Give us more. We want this. We want more drugs. We want more chemicals. We want more problems. We want you to make us more stupid because we're going to keep voting for and consenting to you. Does anybody find it very interesting that you got two presidents running for the United States? And don't get me wrong, to me, presidents don't mean nothing. They make no decisions. None. Zero. Zilch. However, one president wrote the crime bill and the other president, everybody says is racist. And it's just like, yeah, well, yeah, it's not the end of times, but the war started a long time ago and people don't have a way out. Walk away. In the 80s, they weren't even allowed on mainstream media like MTV. No, they weren't. Well, we had ethics in the 80s, Brett Carey. We had a sense of self. It was minimal, It was minimal because we had holes in the jeans, and we'd go out and buy a brand new pair of jeans and just rip them to shreds so we could wear them. And we had jerry curls. As minimum, it was minimum wisdom, but there was a lot more wisdom then, and it's being lost over time. We're slowly poisoning each other through these massive corporations we keep buying from. Social justice is collective envy. Yes, it is. That's just nasty. Makes me want to throw up and vomit at the same time in my mouth. It is. There is no, so you're not fighting for social justice unless you're fighting for justice for everybody. If you're fighting for social justice and an unjust system, you just saying just us. That's a social just us. We want to be social, and we're going to use social and maybe some socialism and any other things that rhyme with that for just us. Just us. We want it just us. We want to hold the whip. We need to beat you. It's just revenge. Revenge. Besides, I don't have any interest in justice. I really don't care about justice. I think about the future, right? You know, people do bad things to you. What you supposed to do? You forgive them, move on, right? Look at the principle. Well, why did this bad thing happen, right? Like, you know what? Who comes in my mind, Ty, when you say that is what's that lady's name from the last riots? Charlottesville. Last fake riots. The last fights. Did them hearts just hang? Them hearts just hang. Can I grab a heart? They just hung. Are we having some issues? Oh, it's gone. Did I touch it? Are we busted? Did Facebook get mad at me? I won't get on my team. No, Ty, you reminded me of a lady from Charlottesville. The mother of the little girl who died, right? The white nationalists rode the car over her and killed her, over the crowd. And hurt a lot of people, but killed her. And before people could yell up and scream justice, before Al Sharpton could get a group of people together to get out there and fight to keep the oppression going. Ooh, we're not gonna touch that one. She already forgave the guy. She was already on television. I forgive you. I've already forgiven you for killing my baby. That's who we need to be. I'm not her. I want to be her really bad. I'm not her. We need to be powerful goddesses like that. Like, that's power. That's power. That's someone who says, I'm not interested in the justice. I'm interested in the fixes. I'm interested in it being fixed. I'm interested in the root problem. And I understand the root problem is we all become each other if we were all in each other's shoes. We can't judge each other, so I ain't gonna judge you. So if I've already forgiven you, how do we fix the system? How do we prevent this from happening again the next time? Right? I'm not interested in justice. My interest is prevention. Justice is a waste of time. Ooh, Sarah talking about Al Sharpton. Boy, that's the fighting, yelling, cussing preacher. Is Tony here? Tony's still here. Speaking of cussing preachers, he got a cuss church. Y'all want to go listen? I listened to one of his Bible rants for the first time last week. Boy, cuss church ain't no joke. Boy, God will cuss you out. Jesus, anyway, I'm not gonna go there. Anyway, yo, what's going on, Tracia? Hey guys, yep, watched and shared it. Awesome. Ooh, Tracia, did you post something deep the other day? What did you post? You posted something. I had to share it, and I ranted on about it for a minute in my own head. Oh, you posted something real deep the other day. Defund hip hop blasphemous. Well, Hillary, you know, you got to defund, but you got to get a bunch of them. You can't just defund hip hop, right? Because they're on the same label. So you got to defund rap, hip hop, R&B, pop, and any of the new brands that y'all got that are on the same label, right? That's the only way you get rid of it. You say, you know what, we're done. We're done with the old normal, which is always the new normal, taking the lowest socioeconomic class and making sure that it kills itself. It kills each other. Remember we did that? What was that? Boys in the Hood talked about yesterday, that same quote. Why would they put the gun shops next to the liquor shops on the same block? Because they want us to kill ourselves. You go out to Beverly Hills, you don't see that stuff, right? What's the difference between the ghetto where they put alcohol and gun stores right next to each other, and the poor white communities where they do it too? And Beverly Hills, there's a difference, and it's not skin. There's a difference, it's not skin. It's economics. It's always economics. Economics is what keeps you locked into the system. If they can get your consent and your consumerism, if they can get you to work for the same corporations and buy from them, then they really don't care. They already got you. They already own you. Lock, stock, and barrel, and you consent to everything they want to do. Economics. Focus on the economics of it. The world is not overpopulated. We're overstipulated. There's not too many of us. There's just too many of us that hold too many things. It doesn't matter the color of their skin, nor how many feet they got, and how many fingernails, the eye color, the hair color. The only thing that matters is the content of their character. It's the only thing that matters. Divide and conquer the cops, and it will affect the politicians. Divide and conquer the cops, it'll affect. Yeah, well, you know what, Jack Hall? I think the cops are already divided. I think they already are. Like, you know what? Something I was listening to yesterday, Jack, was I won't say it was probably Joe Rogan or something. Somebody had a comment. I listen to so much stuff in my ears while I'm working, and he said, you know, I find it interesting that this is the one event that everybody decided to get out in the street and act a damn fool. Expressing real emotion, expressing real experiences, but acting a damn fool. He says, you don't have any cops that actually agree with this guy. I'm gonna pause for a second, because I got a lot of friends who say it's a false flag. You know me, I'm not interested in the academics of what's true and what's not true. What's true is we're not in the email list to ever know what actually is true. But let's say all of it happened exactly and precisely how it said. There's a police, I've not heard one. Have you heard one? Usually it's always somebody making an excuse for the police officer. Nobody on this planet. Everybody on the planet has a neck. And if there's somebody, I haven't heard them yet. Everybody has a neck. Everybody likes oxygen. And everybody said, no one's saying the cops did the right thing. Everybody's saying they did the wrong thing. So I think the cops are already divided. And the other thing I heard, I don't know if is this true? He said with internal affairs, and maybe it was one internal affairs department. That makes more sense to me. They said the internal affairs department reported that more police turn each other in, complain against each other than citizens against police. I found that to be interesting. I don't know how true it is, and it probably is different from precinct to precinct or, you know, region to region, but I find that interesting. Like, these are interesting facts I think that we have to think about before we get too foolishly ignorant and jump on a side in this. You know, we are in World War III. It's been waging for a long time, but we need to know who the enemy is. A lot of police are your friend. You don't want to defund your friend. You want your friend to have a gun, a belt, and all that 60 pounds of junk that the Rothschilds and Rockefellers gave them. You want your friend to be able to have what they need to look out for you. So that is definitely a thing. I think they're already divided. I think that they confuse the battle lines in war sometimes, Jack, because if they can confuse the battle lines, you don't really know who you're fighting, right? You end up fighting a friend, and that's how they win. You know, I think from a Seattle perspective, you know, if I had anything to do with it, we wouldn't be taking over no 8 city blocks or 6 city blocks or whatever it is. We'd be taking over farms. We'd be out there. We would think about the sustainability of this. They don't care nothing about them cities. They burn them cities down, rebuild them. They want the land. They want the land. They want the food. That's how you control the people. Forgot the name of the war criminal who said that. He said he who controls the food supply controls the people. He was right. You want to control yourself, you got to control the food supply. I'm not saying go do that. No, I'm not saying don't put me in there. You're giving them ideas. No, I'm just saying use strategy. Think about what you're doing. It's a lot of people out there protesting on your side. All right, it's a lot of people out there in the riots on your side. It's a lot of people who listen to hip hop, rap on your side. It's a lot of people that listen to country music, dance, western on your side. That hip hop dude that was dancing country western just popped in my head. That was awesome. But that's why I don't like Facebook, because they hide the videos. It's gone way down. I can't go back and see it. But you have to realize there are people who are, yes, Kissinger, yes, Amanda Boudreaux. That's why I like smart people. Hell, it was Kissinger who said that. You control the food supply, you control the people. So how do you control the people? You get the land, you get the seeds, and you control their ability to own it. Nobody in America is free. You got a lot of patriots on the side of Kaepernick, but they don't see it. And maybe he doesn't see it. I see it. A lot of people here see it. You know, but we are in World War III. We need to probably start acting like it. We probably need to start acting like World War III is not going to be fought on a battlefield. World War III, you're not going to be in a trench. You know, it's not going to be fought with these little pop guns. No, the technology's gone far beyond that. Why in the world would you wage a war and destroy all the land and technology you want to loot and the resources when you can just take a country without a shot being fired, like in 1871, which is why I always go back to that, because now it actually seems like that's dipping into larger voices. I don't know who I was watching this morning. one of these brothers on YouTube, and he's a farmer guy, and he was talking about the Act of 1871. I'm like, wow, you got half a million followers, and you're talking about the fact that we don't have a government. We have a governing corporation. I'm like, okay, so this is going prolific. People are talking now. Mind you, it's in this weird context sometimes where they're saying, yeah, but Donald Trump took over the Federal Reserve, and we had that discussion. It doesn't really matter if the United States Incorporated owns their own purse. You don't own the United States Incorporated. The only government you have is state and local. That's all you got. And the states are bribed by the United States Incorporated because in 1933 and 1913, they create that Federal Reserve. They print the money, they bribe the states. So now the states are doing what the international billionaires want, and all the government you got is local. That's all you got, your township. And every time, I don't know about your township, every time I go down to my township, if they got a Pentagon, I don't see it. They can't help me. They can't help me. I mean, you want to vote local, I think maybe because they control your local water and what happens in your neighborhood, how high your grass can be, if you can let the bees pollinate your garden, stuff like that. But short of that, it doesn't really matter. They don't have a Pentagon. I went down there the other day, they had no tanks. I was looking for some F-35 Raptors or anything, which I got back there to protect my rights and my freedoms and my sovereignty, which I got back there. Man, they had a truck, it was broken down. I don't even think it worked, had some rust spots on it. They had some rakes and some hose, and it looked like they had a big building back there with some mulch in it. That was about it. That's my township. They got my back though. They got my back. They're gonna take on these international billionaires and criminals while y'all out there fighting with the police, not knowing who to fight. All right. Please post the link to the TED Talk. I will, Robin, if somebody else didn't already do it. But it's like the Farmers Alliance. I think we're in those days, and I think we need to start thinking along those lines. They're coming after us, and we need to realize we can't see them. And if it's an invisible enemy, the only thing you can do is just deny them what they want. And right now, what they want is they want your consent. They want your freedom, they want your land, they want your food. It's time to be out there growing some food. It's time to be out there acquiring land. If you got land, it's time to go to the city and find some people who want to grow some food for you, who lost their jobs. It's time to put these guilds together, because that's the only way we're going to take it down. If you cannot feed yourself, you cannot free yourself. Bottom line, and that's what the slaves knew. It's time that we figure out what the slaves knew when they couldn't even read, write, book, nothing. They ain't never been to college, elementary school, because it was banned. But they were freed, and the first thing they said, oh, we need the land. That's what we need. We don't need nothing else. We don't need y'all. No, we don't need your government. We don't need your criminal corporations, because we know in 1871 that y'all gonna lose all this anyway. All we need is 40 acres and the mule. That's all we need. That's all people need now. Because if you own your own land, you can feed yourself and you got water. What exactly do you need to give up any sovereignty for? Conspiracy theories are hot. Brother Michael, who's it? Michael Mendoza posted this a minute ago on this morning. It's something to the effect of conspiracy theories are now turning into conspiracy facts. And it actually makes a whole lot of sense, because if you know the corporations, the coffers, the kings and lords have always conspired against an ignorant population, a gullible population, a divided population. If they've always done that, then they're still doing that. You don't have to call it a conspiracy theory. They're all conspiracy facts, and they're all coming true. They're always what do governments want. They want your rights. What do corporations want? They want your, no. The governments want power, and the corporations want the money, which leaves nothing for you. So hell yeah, they're conspiring against you, because they don't have to do anything for you. And it's not their fault. They're not the bad guys. You hate black people, and some of them hate black people, and Christians hate the Muslims. And as long as you're divided, then yeah, they're supposed to take everything that you got. They're supposed to take everything that you got. Question is, are you going to figure out who the true enemy is? Oh, it's biblical time, Jack. Yes, it is. Enemy is not invisible to me. No, Jack, because you read books. That's the problem with you. That's right. That's why you need to be banned on Facebook, too. I don't even know why they let you come out and play, Jack Hall. They need to put you in Facebook jail right at Facebook. Y'all need to put this man in jail. All right. This man reads books. He critically thinks. He posts things that are important to people. I have not seen any bunnies, kittens, chickapoos, and no pretty things on his page. And the man says things that make damn sense. All right, he needs to go to Facebook jail. He's obviously defying an enemy that's invisible, because he can see him. Let me see. The fight against fluoride. Ain't that a thing, Sarah Mayo? Fluoride, they're still putting it in the water with the chlorine. In fact, we about to get a lot worse here, Sarah. We about to go to chloramine. Chloramine is when they take the chlorine and bind it with the ammonia to make it a liquid. Therefore, right, you know, because you got the the chlorine aerator on your thing, on your sink. You know that thing on the sink that's annoying? I used to take them things off and throw them away because I want the water to come out, but no, the little thing adds air. It allows the chlorine gas to escape. It's not gonna happen no more. Between the water coming out your sink and then your cooking thing or your cup or whatever to go in your body, that chlorine go down there and just kill all that gut biome, that second brain. It might even be the first brain. Kill it all off to make you stupid. The war is between the jelly between your ears and the jelly between your spine and your belly button. That's where the war is at. It's just gonna be chloramine at that point, Sarah, and it's all gonna be liquid. You drink it, all the chlorine in the sink gonna be all in your gut, just murderifying all of that neural network that's working down there. The war has always been on, and fluoride's another side. Besides, you got fluoridosis. Now you got doctors talking about it. You know, fluoride poisoning. Replace the UN, make a union for the people. All is one. Yeah, well, Mark, you know what? I think we do need to think on a global scale. I agree with you. I think we need to think act on a global scale, but we need to certainly keep sovereignty in mind. That's the only where that I stop when they start talking about the new world order. I agree with a new world, no order. We need a new world, and you don't need to get nobody orders because you're stupid. You don't get to control nobody else ever again. Free the whole planet globally. Because the enemy we face is global. We're not facing an American enemy. It's not in America. It's not in China. It's not in Russia. You can ignore your ignorant politicians. They don't read books, unfortunately. They're not being banned on Facebook or YouTube or anywhere else. Okay? They're there to give you the illusion of control. They have no power. So absolutely, we need a global initiative to give sovereignty back to people and give them the land back from these corporations. Corporations don't need land. Governments don't need land. They don't eat food. They don't eat food, you know what I'm saying? Like the politicians do, yeah, they need to have a little bit of land, but not more than you, not more than me. So absolutely, we need to fight on a global scale. That's why we need to have friends across the spectrum. If you got all black friends on your blick friends, you got all white friends on your thing, you got all American friends, and most of your friends is Christians, or most friends is Muslims, you're not helping. You're actually feeding the system exactly what it wants. This is why they show you posts of things that from people you would agree with, right? That manufacture consent through confirmation bias. All these big words, you gotta look them up though. Politicians don't talk about this. All right, about when you run with the crowd. Oh, it went up. All right, I'd go down to regular. I'm way up in old time. Emerson is in the house, and Glenn and Katya, obviously, they fear fire, cannot control that living thing. Yellow pain. Jimmy D, I'm not sure what we're talking about. We're not overpopulated, we're overstimulated. Yes, Robin, we are. We stupid as hell. We got too many stupid people. Ignorant people. I'm sorry. You know what? I got to change how I speak. And I'm trying, Robin. Give me a minute. We got too many ignorant people. The only way somebody who's stupid, you can't help. That's why it's a bad word. It's dismissive, right? Dave Chappelle said that. Y'all don't like him. Y'all say he's a clone. So yeah, we'll do that at another point in time. Anyway, train of thought. Dave Chappelle talks about crazy, because they called him crazy, right? When Dave Chappelle left, they called him crazy. And he said, well, crazy is dismissive, right? So stupid, which is why it's a bad word. It's a word I shouldn't use, because ignorant people you can help, and we got to help everybody. But if we don't know that we have to help everybody, then the people who need help don't get the help, because we call them stupid. They're not stupid, they're just ignorant. And we all were ignorant, right? I'm not on any platform here, Robin, of grandeur that, I figured the system out. I'm so smart. Like, no, I got NWA at home. I got Ice-T. I had a Biggie Smalls. I had all of them. But I also had Iron Maiden, AC/DC. I listened to all of it. And we're all raised to be ignorant. School makes us that way. Us waking up is our choice. It's whether or not we finally look at something as an adult and very mature and saying, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm a shocker. Here's a shocker. I was never a member of Black Lives Matter. I ain't never sent them a penny. For the same reason, I'm not a member of the Cancer Society of the United States, and I ain't never sent them a penny neither. I've never have. At a principle level, the name alone is the problem. Does anybody find it like oddly weird that every group has a billionaire philanthropist? Like, think about that. Every group now has a billionaire philanthropist. There's somebody behind everybody. If it's not the Koch brothers or Bill Gates, it's Soros. You got who is Lex Luthor right now, the Amazon guy. Do you ever want to like find this a little bit odd that all of these grassroots movements all got billionaires backing them? Well, if they back you, they own you. Right? If they back you, they own you. If they give you the money, you will capitulate to them. Now, you might not, in terms of them having 50 million members. They might all be very good people who think that they're doing well. But if the billionaires control the purse, you want to do the leadership at the top, the executives, the ones that actually get paid, and this is their job in their industry. Unfortunately, I know one of them. I know one of them. One of them is a close friend of mine. And I love her to death, but she don't follow me on Facebook no more. Why? Because I like to say truthful things. Right? You in bed with the criminals. You in bed with the oppressors. You in bed with the people that are causing the problems. You're not in bed with the people saying, you know what? Black lives kill black lives more. Black caucus kill more black lives than white cops. Right? When you say truthful things, then people get down with that. But when you say things that conflict with people's incomes, then they got a problem. And I understand that too. You got a mortgage to pay, you got a card note to pay, but to a degree at a certain point in time, we have to grow up and say, then how does that make me different than a slave? How does that make me different than, I don't say Robert E. Lee, because he was a hell of a lot more progressive than most people I call progressives now. Okay? Robert E. Lee walked away from slavery. Most progressives I know, they got smartphones. Damn it, I got one. I have not caught up to him yet in terms of being progressive and releasing all of his slaves prior to the war, prior to generals from the North. Reality is not clean. They try to convince and people that reality is clean and everything is black and white. Ain't nothing black and white, God. This is Earth. This is Earth, Kata. Everything on Earth evolved to keep you ignorant. You got to do it yourself. Which is why I say I love this model. You have to go do your own research and you got to wake up on yourself. You have to say, you know what, do Black Lives Matter to me? Yeah, they do. I understand that. Now I understand why they named the group that, why to push white people away. Okay, I get that. Then now all white people are gonna get pushed away because some are gonna sympathize and others are gonna say, no, my life matters too, because I done lost my cousin Julian and you kind of disrespected the memory by saying Black Lives Matter. And you hit on people's passions and emotions and you got more problems. But besides the fact, you got billionaires above all these groups that are probably donating to all the same groups, keeping everyone in conflict because they're invested in the prison system. They're invested in the locks, the keys, the concrete, the uniforms, the socks, the shoes, or whatever it is, with the Black Caucus and the rest of the criminals in Washington. The United States Incorporated. They always do what makes profit. And the most profitable thing you can do right now is to take the best trained, the best educated, the best equipped troops and put them in an ignorant group so they refuse to fight. Because they don't see the enemy. They don't see the real enemy. Fog of war. I was just ordering over the tomatoes. You were just oogling over the tomatoes. What you oogling over tomatoes for, Jeannie? That's ignorant, girl. You're supposed to eat them things. You're supposed to put them in your mouth. They help your immune system so you don't have to worry about flu season next year, because you know it's coming again. I'm pretty sure it is. Oh my goodness, my friends, they trying as hard as hell to keep this flu season on. They doing everything. Keep flu season alive. Like, keep hope alive. They trying hard. I'm like, no, just check the CDC statistics, people. It's just flu season. We should have opened months ago. All right, we should have opened. Because, even in the beginning, I was a little concerned. I wasn't much concerned. I was a little concerned. I called it the cuckoo virus from the very beginning. From the very beginning. You can go back and watch my earlier videos. Everybody, it's the cuckoo virus. It's election year. What time is it? Election year. The billionaires said they got to collapse the American currency, give them a digital dollar. They need to get the social, social credit scoring. They need to control the masses more. They've been saying this for a long time. It's the cuckoo virus. It's the cuckoo, because we're going to do cuckoo stuff from it. I called that. I'm sorry. I called it before WW3. Okay? You watch my videos, watch his videos. You don't watch my videos. Anyway, I called it the cuckoo virus from early on. And it's not because I'm smart. It's just I've been here for a while. Like I tell my friends, I agree with George Carlin. My main rule is I never trust my government until there's proven fact. I'll never trust them. Ain't got nothing to do with no Democrats or Republicans. But the Democrats and the Republic recruits. I'm like, whoa, is that government? Okay, all right. Are we still on the United States Incorporated? Yeah, we are. Okay, do they do everything for profit because they're a corporation? Yeah, they okay. Okay. They're not concerned with governing me. They're mostly concerned with ruling me. All right. So until it's proven fact, I'm gonna call it all fake and phony. Right. My friends, I know them. I see them. I trust them. Even the ones I've never seen in real life. I look at what they post. It looks like, yeah, that's that. Yep. You know what? Look, everything. They're like Ty posting this and that. I agree with that. Ty, oh, that makes sense. And the Ty, okay, yeah, you know what? Ty posts that. I disagree with that. But you know what? Damn it, 99% of the time, Ty's on point. Now look at the government. That's why I said I have everything in common. I have a lot more in common with every single white nationalist in this country and skinhead and Ku Klux Klan than I do in government, right? See, the skinheads and the Ku Klux Klan and the white nationalists, they see me and they don't like me. They see me, they don't like, actually, I got a few of them. I got a few. I got a few that like me because I talk about freedom and constitution and go live in their own little space. If they want to live in their own little space, I live in mine. Don't nobody mess with each other. We good. But they see me. Right? They see a cop. If I run into a cop, and most cops I like actually, because I know my police officers and I buy them cups of coffees and I thank them for their service. And the odd thing that does in my neighborhood is they don't beat up my children. Okay, I don't cuss at them. I don't. And I'm not saying you not to do that. I'm just saying just think about it. It's consequences for everything that we do. Sometimes you piss off a cop because you get an attitude with them. They turn around and shoot a black kid the next day or a white kid. We all live a sync together. We all thrive or survive or die together. What was I saying? There's so much that goes through my head on a regular basis. I forgot what other people talking about. Police, ride or die, shoot to kill, 50 cent, 32 cents, something. Anyway, we'll keep going. A couple more comments, and I am going to go. I really don't have tons of time today. Kindness is a great thing. It helps to keep with confrontation. It is a great thing, and we all should be kind to each other. If we want a kind world, we have to be kind. If we want an aggressive world, we all should be aggressive. If we want to keep a racist world, then we need to go out there and fight racism, not put it out and heal it. Where they abuse the mentally ill and the homeless. Yeah, we don't care anything, Sarah, about the mentally ill or the homeless. We don't. Their lives don't matter at all. I'm wondering, are there any homeless people left in America or any of the shut down nations? Homeless people actually survive by handouts. And if nobody's out in the city doing their slavery job, career things, then nobody's giving anything to the homeless. So they're out there struggling. A brother I knew, a good brother, drives a bus in New York. I said that the other day, drive by. He said that the homeless people, like, they're beating the doors down because they're outside, they're starving. This is where this is their living. Their literal living comes from people giving them food or nickels or whatever on their way to work. And none of that's happening. We need to stop pretending that the world is okay. The world is not okay. Our societies are not okay. None of this slavery is okay. None of this oppression is okay. None of the taking sovereignty from human beings and giving it to political parties, politicians, lords, kings, governments, or massive international conglomerates is okay. None of it's okay. Stop being consumers of ourselves. Ooh, and isn't that it too? Mark Kachek, what you just basically said is we're cannibals. We're cannibals. We literally are eating ourselves. We are the people, what they call them, the cutters. We are self-destructive. We're killing ourselves. But because we don't feel it, we're okay with it. Because we're not homeless, we don't think about it. We're not mentally ill, so we're good to go with it. We got a house and a car. We can live through a shutdown. We got a savings. We're not worried about nobody else who can't. We are literally surviving of cannibals on ourselves. Sanitize what, Kentucky Fried Mom? You shouldn't sanitize nothing. You need to get the germs, girl. That's why I post videos. I was out yesterday eating broccoli, flies. Didn't wash my hands at all. You're not supposed to wash. Why? The government says so. That's why I don't wash my hands. I know I do wash my hands. No, it's stupid. No, but it's just what the government says, wash your hands. I'm like, okay, well, we probably need to not wash our hands as much. They say go left. You know what? It's probably some good things over on the right. They say jump. Oh, yeah, everybody better duck. That's what I believe. That's what they've been doing since the beginning of time, is conspiring against us to gain our power. And I think we need to take it back. Can it be distilled out? Oh, the chlorine or the fluoride? Rachel, all you got to do with chlorine is let it sit out. Chlorine is a gas, right? Eventually it's going to leave the water and you'll be fine. Fluoride stays in, as I understand it. Chloramine doesn't go anywhere unless you have a very specific chloramine filter just for the chloramine. I forgot what they use to take it out. It's like vitamin C or something weird that it takes to unbind it so it can leave. Somebody will post it. These people, they know what's going on. Listening, whatever that is. Thank you for that link. Let me see. There's a court case going on now about fluoride in the water. Follow the Consciousness Resistance Network. They are posting about it. It's not getting any coverage, and it shouldn't. Then it's a good thing. Tresha, then post a link. Then that's what we need to be following. Absolutely, absolutely. If it's not, if it's on mainstream media, like with government, you can pretty much ignore it because the criminals, the people we're at war with, they own the mainstream media. Let's think about it like that. The people, the invisible people, the silent ones, the ones that never go on TV, the ones that tell the Bezos where to go, what to do, when to get off, and the Faucis and the Gates and the rest of these small billionaires, the people who own things, they control the television. Why, if you were in the war, did you see the guys in the war? They're in the war right here. They got the guns and the mask, somebody spraying cuckoo virus in their head. If you're in the war, when you're done fighting for the day, do you go back to your barracks and watch the criminals, your enemy's news, and the enemy tells you what you should be doing? Do you think any of these dudes doing that? If they did doing that, and this was the 1910, they all dead. Every last one of them dead. If it's in the news, you can ignore it. Pretty much. You can pretty much ignore it. You can pretty much go the other way. If your politicians say it, you can pretty much go the other way. You know, the politicians are us. I'm not saying, you know, when they speak to you from a governing capacity and they work for a corporation that's governing, you can pretty much know that everything that comes out their mouth is for profit, not for yours. Profit, not for yours. They're not going to share it with you. All right. Can chloramine be steamed, distilled out? Oh no, chloramine. I don't know what chloramine is. I don't know what I said chloramine. Chloramine, yeah, no, Rachel, it stays in. It stays in. And to a degree, like they give us those things, Rachel, under this idea that it's helpful and it's for us, it's for our profit, right? They say, well, you know, every now and then the back flush happens. You ever hear about these back flushes? When and I've only lived in Pennsylvania 15 years. I've been living here 15 years. Ain't never once did we have a back flush. A back flush when the toilet water mixes with the drinking water. I don't know why they got two pipes connected somewhere. Seemed like somebody did not go to elementary school and get their degree work. You don't ever connect the toilet pipe with the water treatment. You don't ever connect those pipes. Anyway, but there's a back flush. So apparently pressure keeps the sewage water separate from the drinking water. Never had a back flush before. Is anybody else getting back flushes? We get these alerts. So in the last 5 years, and this is a few years after they said they're going to switch over to chloramine, now we're having back flushes. Now we're getting poo-poo in the water. And so now they say, yeah, well, now we need chloramine, because if it ever happens, the chloramine stays in the water to kill off the bacteria and the germs, and the poo-poo E. coli stuff won't be in your drinking water. And like, yeah, that makes sense. Thank you. And it makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me. Wherever you are right now, wherever Nicole's at, Nicole Staten, where you are right now, there's a whole ocean of water underneath you, right? And you can go down, most places you go down, all you gotta do is go down 15, 20 feet, you got literal, fresh, clean drinking water directly underneath you. Yeah, water well, Sarah, and you can get fresh, clean drinking water everywhere you are. But they want everybody on the grid for a reason. They need you on the grid. That's what the matrix is. If they control your water, your food, your land, they literally do artificial scarcity and take it from you and hook you up to municipality. It means you can't be free because you need them for everything. That's why it's called the grid. They need you on it, and they need your brain on it. They need you to watch TV. They need you to watch the new cuckoo flu updates. They need to get you scared. Right? If you can do it yourself, then you can tell them where to go. Like who was the guy? Somebody had a deep quote, permaculture quote. He said, there is something deeply seditious about permaculture. There's something seditious about current permaculture. There's something sovereign about permaculture. There's something sustainably empowering of people, taking them off of grids, centrally managed, not needing pesticides, chemicals, seeds, or nothing from these billionaires. About permaculture. Permaculture is a word, it stands permanent. Culture lasts forever. Permanent culture. When you have permanent things, you can't have billionaires. Billionaires wouldn't exist if your world actually were sustainable, permanently. If you went along with nature, everything in nature is free, you can't have war on drugs. We wouldn't be sitting here having this discussion. Ignorant words like defund the police when we know we need to be defunding the war on drugs. We need to refund sovereignty. You don't have to worry about the little problems, you take care of the big problems. And the big problems are all easy to take care of. That's the crazy thing. The big problems, it's hard. You got to fight to get the small problems. Defunding the police, oh, you got to fight. Fight for black lives, or white lives, or blue lives. You got to fight. But everybody agrees with the big problems. The big problems are to the root of the evil are the little problems. You standing up with everybody. Right? When you realize the same energy behind white lives matter is behind black lives matter, then you're gonna figure out how the matrix works. When you realize that they're upset because their friends are dying, and you're upset because your friends are dying, and the police is upset with their friends are dying, then somebody asked the question, well, who created this world where we take rights from people to give it to government, to give them more power, and we take money from people and we give them charges to give more power to corporations, and we make them controlled, captive customers of these corporations? Who did this? That put blacks against whites and whites against blacks and police against everybody. Who did that? Who? And I didn't done that. Those people ain't invisible. Now the orders are invisible, but those people aren't invisible. Those laws are not invisible. They're right there, right in front of your eyes. You just need to open them and read it and accept the ugly as it goes in. That's all you got to do. If you really care. If you don't really care, if you're just in it for you, you're in it for some power for yourself, then you shouldn't read no laws. You just keep with your fuggle. Keep it a fake struggle. Just keep with your fuggle. Keep going, and maybe you'll win. You know, maybe you'll get a slave plantation of your own. Maybe it'll work out. Maybe the people that you're making foolish will never figure you out. Bad guys try to keep us ignorant. Yeah, they do. They don't try very hard, Jack Hall. I think they used to try hard. I don't think they try now. I don't think they try. All they got to do is like put some sugar in it. That's all they got. I don't think they try. They just put a little extra sugar in it. Just make it taste sweet. Make it fit with their indoctrination. Give them a little confirmation bias, and the system runs itself. Right? Like, and I think that's the consumerism piece. You make people ignorantly unsustainable consumers, and you don't have to keep doing anything. They literally keep fighting against themselves. They literally keep buying albums that are getting their friends killed. And they don't understand how that works. No, brown bodies don't matter. They never cared about brown or white bodies. It's just right now what Mike said, which was right. It's been normalized to kill black people, and it's okay. If it's brown, it's an immigrant, it's okay. If it's a poor white, it's okay. If he's got dirty tennis shoes, no, he ain't wearing nothing. What do they call it? White trash or whatever they call it. They've normalized all of that. Nobody cares. What was the name of that TV show? It wasn't that long ago because I was 29. I'm only 29. And he looked in the trash can. He said, look, somebody threw away a perfectly good white boy. There was a white dude in the trash can. Oh, Men at Work. Men at Work. That was somebody threw away a perfectly good entire race of black people and white people and Christian people and Muslim people. Why would you throw away perfectly good people? Because we're ignorant. I'm going to change my, look at that. I'm changing my word. Ignorant. I'm learning. Because we're ignorant. Yeah, I was about to say stupid. No, we're not stupid. We're just ignorant. Some of us are stupid, but not many. Most of us are just ignorant. Most of us are just misguided. But we have the passion to get on the right path. But that's your choice. You have to be able to stop and look up and say, you know what? Yeah, this is making some sense to me. I don't like it. I don't like it. Nope. I don't want to follow this dude. I don't like what none of these people are posting. But they actually making some damn sense. That's your spirit conflicting. Right? That's your spirit telling you that, you know what? Damn, maybe I did get wrapped up. Right? That's the only way you break intelligent people. You got to bring out their passions. You got to bring out their passions and make them angry, and that blood goes away from the intelligent portions of your brain, and it starts prioritizing the survival ones. Was that fight or flight, something like that? I know I probably said it wrong. Y'all smart people, y'all know y'all can figure that out for yourself. You correct what I said. But you know, that's the only way you break intelligent people who critically think, is you have to get them to be emotional. When they're emotional, you're going to get irrational activity out of them. And that's what I realized at a certain point in time. I was being irrational. I realized that I was being played by my emotions and my confirmation bias and my own bigotry from my own birth. And then I looked up and then I could see the Black Caucus for who they are. Not that they're bad people. They're not bad people. Like I said, it's not the politicians aren't the problem. It's the system. It is the system. And the Black Caucus is a piece of the system. It is a piece of the slavery system. And some good people probably work for it, like the Republicans, like the Democrats, and all of them. But the system will not let them do any good. The system is not there for you. It is there only for profit. You want to defund the election, see what happens. Right? All they need is your belief. That's all they want. That's all the invisible enemy wants, is your energy and your belief. If you start acting like you don't believe and you start walking away, you defund the oppression and the slavery and the inequality at the root level. What else you got to do? You ain't got to do nothing. All of the hillbillies get what they want. All the poor blacks get what they want. Everybody gets what they want. But they don't want you to know that. They don't want you to think like that. They need this war going on. Right? They need the war. And it's time that we free the human race and end the war. It's not like it's a difficult thing to do. It's not hard at all. All you got to do is have enough love and compassion in your heart and a few brain cells, put them jokers together with a dendrite connection that links to 1871, that links to, what is her name? Deborah Tavares. Take this shutdown time and realize everything is a rich man's trick. Realize that we are in World War III. We didn't pick the war. We didn't pick the war. We didn't pick the sides either. But it's here. We're going to act like we know it's here. We act like we're going to take away the things that they want. We're going to deny the invisible enemy the things that they want, or we're going to keep fighting other poor people and just giving it to them. Right? That's the thing for you to decide. See, I've already decided that. I've got kids. I eventually will probably have some grandkids and nieces and nephews, and I have an obligation to them and Sarah's kids and Christine's and Ann's and Jack's and Nicole's and Kentucky Fried Mamas and Miss Trees to do what's right. Right? I've already lived my life at 29. I don't care what they do to me. I could care less. I don't care what they do to me. You can send some black helicopters, black car. They ain't tried the black car thing. I tell you, they like to play with my house. They like to play with my lock. I really don't care. You can do anything you want to me. You're not going to ever scare me. Oh, no. I know what people went through. I know what people going through. I know what these kids go through that y'all are putting these chemicals and drugs in. I know what people go through. I done been to a funeral with the little baby. Oh, my God. It messed me up. The little casket. Oh, goodness gracious. She was shot in a war on drug shooting. Not black on black. It was a war on drug shooting. And the casket was so daggone small, one person carried it. Nah, I don't care what you do to me. You're losing babies too young. I could care less. That's why I'm saying I'm not in it for the ignorant. I'm in it for the people who never got a chance to live. The old people, I ain't worried about y'all. I love y'all, and I hope you do get a chance to live at the end of your life. But we got an obligation to everybody under the age of 26. We've been here longer. We're not better. We're not smarter. We're not any of that. We just have more data and more experience. We're either taking that and that compassion and the privileged lives that we had. And if you're still here, you're privileged, by the way. I'm going to let you know that. If you are here, you're privileged. A lot of people didn't get that privilege. That baby didn't get that privilege. And that feeds on, I'm back to Brother Patter for a second, because that feeds into the statements that Mike made, which is, no, killing is normalized, especially killing brown and immigrant and poor. Like, all of that is normal. We're okay with that. Lavoy Finicum, people didn't care about that. The ranch is down, didn't care about that. It was so normal that this little black baby was killed. This was the first time I met this person. It was in North Carolina, South Carolina, I forgot. First time I met this person, it was not Tenderoni. No, we didn't have Tender back then. I'm not gonna tell you the website. Anyway, first time I met the person, hanging out. Oh, well, I got to go to a funeral this weekend. So we're gonna go to the funeral of a little baby. So we are so jacked up that the first time you meet somebody, you're gonna go to a funeral of a little baby that was killed in the war on drugs. Gone the wrong way, people. Gone the wrong way. These things should not be normal. We are mentally ill. We are mentally ill as a species. We have to do that. We have to rediscover sentience somehow. But it's not to keep this as normal. And it's all based in the music, it's based in the movies, it's based in Hollywood. We have a lot of phenomenal entertainment that we could have. We could have clean entertainment. But as long as we are backing record labels, entertainers, and industries that find a problem with date rape, but they don't find a problem with murder, thug life, gangsterism, then the kids are going to do what they're supposed to do. I don't have any issue with the gangsters. I don't have any issue with it. If I were born a gangster, I'd be a gangster. I wasn't. So all I can do is the best I can do is just to look at them and realize that they are basically kids having temper tantrums. They're having fits, right? Well, I mean, what do you do if you're walking in a grocery store and you see one of these kids pulling one of these things that certain cultures pull them, the others don't pull them, and they on the floor doing kicking and screaming, and the parent got them on the leash or something. I mean, do you feel bad for the kid? Like, damn, why you got that kid on a leash? Like, what's going on in the house? Like, this kid obviously wants something. You give them what they want, and they stop throwing a temper tantrum. You know, sometimes you got to correct them. You can't have too much of it, but you can have a little bit. Same thing with gang violence. Gang violence ain't nothing but kids throwing temper tantrums in the store. They're on leashes called artificial scarcity, written in legislation and laws, taking the rights from people that are all unconstitutional. Everybody's got everything in common. But once again, you got to have at least a little bit of empathy in your heart. Realize that if you were born them, you'd be them. Hey, listen, this is Gerard. Hey, they going. Love y'all to death. Y'all have a great day. We're already in World War III. You don't have to wait for it. The enemy is already firing shots at you every day. Every day, battles are popping off. The only problem is you shooting friendly fire. And that might be a bad idea, especially if you people do this. Gerard, hey, going. Love y'all to death. Free the people. Bye. Free the people.